Yo, what's up, guys? Yes, Master League is here, and yes, despite what they say, they want to we want to balance it out, guys. We want to balance it out so the UR doesn't have that much advantage against the SSR. That's kind of bullshit, right? We know that. We know that. Come on. Okay, it's not that UC series and Toughest Nail doesn't have their own limited um UR unit, which is I do say gonna be pretty broken, but yeah, at least we know one certain character in it they are trying to cut down here to not be very rampant, and that is actually strike freedom. I do think that they try to slow down the rampage of strike freedom because I think a lot of people pull for it. I mean, it's pretty famous series, so So yeah, the stage is ground and the boost is UC and Toughest Nail. Personally, I'm actually trying to run a Toughest Nail tag, and that's why we are here today. We're gonna talk more about the viability and the variation you can go with Tough as Nail tag. But first of all, Tough as Nail tag gonna require a certain supporter, which is very hard to get. But don't fret, we have another option. Okay, so Bicha Oleg is the D support for the Toughest Nail tag with the 25% increase. Again, not as good as Lakas Clan with 30%, with this, which is also one of the reasons why Strike Freedom was really oppressive because Lakas Clan exists, and the problem with Oleg is like he's not a featured unit or anything. He's just like, yeah, it's there, right? Not that one. Sorry, the details on drop like that. So which Oleg is part of this UR unit is like 1%. So in 100 pulls, you're gonna only get one of them. I'm just lucky on that. I don't want to flex, but yeah. And the other thing is like it actually shares. Yep, it actually shares with 16 other units, I think. Therefore, the rate is very small to actually get a Bicha Oleg. But again, do not fret. We have given someone who is not too shabby, Dr. J. You can see here Dr. J, if you do the current quest, the current map event, you can get him to limit victory with increase by 22% for Toughest Nail. And here's the thing. 3% is still something you can actually afford to lose. 5% might be too big, but 3%, yeah, still okay, right? Other than that, his support is actually like, because he's a 3-star SSR, so you can see the Becha Oleg at level 80, HP support is only 2000. While Dr. J, because he's a 3-star SSR, so you already have like 1700 at level 40. So let's go for 46. Yeah, see, almost. So in level 50 or 60, he's gonna have a more HP support than attack support. Bicha is more the attack support kind of guy, but in the end, the overall stat, Bicha might be slightly higher, but again, the HP might not be so. So here's the thing. Toughest Nail tag is actually a tag that is, if you see in the in the anime or you watch Gundam, you will realize that units that are being used here as Toughest Nail tag is usually those units who can take a beating, right? They are in the middle of the fight. They shift hits and they hit back, and that's what these Gundams or mobile suits are. So you can see straight from the bat, right off the bat, two of them. Non-limited UR unit is actually under the Toughest Nail tag. I do feel that Gundam EX is a better choice than Narrative simply because of the ground. So I'm kind of screwed up here, to be honest, because I have a higher, limit break on Narrative. The thing is also, but Gundam only have 4 movement, right? Which not actually that problematic because it's increased evasion and mobility. Gundam gonna have a field time. Also, the Beam Saber EX actually hit quite hard with 6.2, not bad. and mobility down, and this the main attack is actually attack down, which is very good, right? And yeah, the other option for your tank will be a narrative Gundam. Narrative is weird. It doesn't like tank that much, but actually hits much harder. But the problem is it has decreased accuracy. So in PvP, this might actually help you. The accuracy down is something you need to watch over, because some of these mobile suits here in this game, especially the limited UR Charles Noble, Charles Zaku, is really depend on evasion. And also there is one more guy, this tough as nail tech, that relies on evasion, which is, yep, that side Gundam. Okay. The other part why you might actually want to use narrative is the AE. It has an AOE attack, but other than that, it actually has a pretty decent range with 4 range. So yeah, and for the passive, this they have a special weapon reduce. So I'm not really sure how many special weapons are gonna be involved in this one. So that might be something you need to consider. But yeah, and the increased accuracy also is good, right? Narrative is more like a defense focus rather than HP. So that's that, and it actually has more movement, but again, the terrain is the ground, so Narrative gonna have a lot of problem, mobility down, movement down. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for him. I might still want to test him more, so let's see. Okay. Yeah, next one is GP02. Okay, GP02 is one hell of a weird Gundam. It has the same amount of attack and defense. No, actually it's higher on defense. This one I give it modification from status memory, so it has more attack. Actually it has more defense. If you see here, let's just remove this one, right? Wait, swap, sorry. Let's just remove this one. So you can see here's like the defense is higher. Again, this is actually in line with you know, tough as nail tag. So if we put him with another of this, he's gonna tank a lot. GB02 is the unit that it wants to actually receive damage. Okay, it's a very good tank, but not a tank. You see here, it has increased defense, increased mastery. So it wants to be in the middle of battle. Again, the shield is there not for just show, it's actually to protect itself. So therefore, it has a very high defense. And that's the thing. This is the main way reason why you would want to use GP02, the weapon type. This AOE, yeah, it's a huge area. And then the reason why this is actually slightly better than Wing Zero's AOE is like, you don't need your opponent to get close to you, or you don't need to get close to your opponent, and just probably the AI gonna take chances on this one and gonna shoot the AOE bomb. So yeah, so in that case, Tower Snail, since they don't really want to, I mean, they can take hits, so you might not really need much mobility in some of them, especially like narrative, like GP02. I mean, you might not actually want to evade. You want to evade, but that's not your, priority. So other than that, the atomic bazooka still hits really hard, and beam saber is also quite good. The critical is actually on this one, the atomic bazooka, so its critical buff might not be that useful, but the AOE is gonna be, and usually the mass doesn't last more than 2-3 turns. So yeah, if it got you at a point where it can shoot you with its bomb, your entire team is gone. Maybe. Let's see. Alright. So before we go to the SSR, of course we need to check on the other Tavis Nail guys, and that is yes, no other than Death's sides. That side, I don't have that side, but we can actually check on it here. So that side is more like a, yeah, it's a bruiser. It's a weird position. It's like a bruiser, but and it actually counter attack because duo is more like a counter attack guy. It doesn't actually protect your team that much, but it just counters and keep on countering, right? So another 50% increase on this is quite bonkers. So means he might actually like 15,000 attack or maybe 13,000. I'm not really sure how the 50% increase, but yeah, it's gonna be bonkers with high HP, high movement. Again, wing unit, they can move wherever they want. It's just the anime, and the beam Caesar EX actually hits like a truck, and also have reduced attack. So when the AI is gonna approach this guy, it's gonna be troublesome. So I expect to see a lot of him, and also Sirocco. Therefore, like I do think it's like you gotta be a bit more careful on facing this guy. You might want to actually focus more on the range attacks or with something with higher accuracy. Because if this thing that kind of counters your attack, your unit is gone. It's gone. Because simply it has a high attack and a high counter damage. So yeah, you don't want to be on this bad side again. And it's really dual kind of thing in Arnold Schwartz. He prefer to actually receive attack and then counter back. Yeah, so that's the thing. The other one that I want to talk about is ZO. Is he here? No, it's not here. Like it's Psycho Gundam. So ZO is not here. Wait, yeah, here you go. ZO, yes. ZO is a very very good unit. The thing about ZO is, sorry, let me get back to just view DO again. The thing about DO is it actually, the pilot is kind of insane with the counter. Here's the thing. So if DO can get itself in a good position with its high range and also the EX skill, if it can get to a position where it can help that side, so their combo gonna be devastating. So again, these tough snail tags doesn't really need to actually move first because they can take hits. Even the support, they can have hits, sorry, and the tank itself, they can hit back again, like we see in the narrative. Also the attack's not shabby, Gundam attack not shabby, and then we can see in the form of GP02, the attack, I mean the defense is not shabby. It can receive damage and then he can counter back. So yeah, that's the thing about this unit. And so it's like very interesting attacker is actually a Crossbone Gundam and also Easy 8 Gundam. A Crossbone is really good in terms of it has more focus on critical, and AI tend to actually use the skill. So Kincaid is a very bad. I don't think Kincaid is a better choice than Shiro. Easy 8 is also good because this is a ground unit and the stage is ground. It hits hard, so your premium attackers should go around these two units. And if you do not have them, so yeah, don't fret. You still have options, and other than the options that currently I'm leaning towards Full Armor Double Zeta. Full Armor Double Zeta is good. It might actually need some of buff with the Fire, so you might actually want to put Setsuna or Nyan, or actually you can put our Mr. Wait, what's his name again? Kouraki, yeah, Kouraki. The thing is about this unit is the problem is it's not ESFS, so you might actually not receive Kouraki's buff. So, but Full Armor Double Zeta is great. The high melee cannon is decent, it's almost 4,000, so it can actually take advantage of that. And the other one is the critical damage increase with the barrage. Again, critical kind of thing. Mostly you would want to use the barrage. The hyper beam saber, not really, but yeah, mostly it's gonna be the barrage, right? And for another support, you might actually need another support. It's gonna be Zeong. Zeong is a nice choice. The problem is this is the best attack, the barrel arm is actually only 4 range, but all range attack is 5. So and the beam weapon increase might actually not that useful unless you are actually supporting for that side. Again, that side is beam damage, and that's for Zeong. For yeah, actually one of the dark horse in this is gonna be our Mr. Barbatos with nano element. It's gonna reduce the beam weapon attack, and there is a lot of beam weapons in the UC, so you can actually try to move around that. And this guy deals mostly critical damage, and also no, not critical damage, physical damage. As for the critical, not really. It doesn't really go with critical. I mean, it has 10% critical, but that's not the point of this unit, right? So you can see it's like it can go like 6,000. This one is great, but I think you will need some moral increase, I think. So most likely you're gonna need Setsuna. Yeah, can be used attention max or greater. So you're gonna need the Setsuna to actually use this one. Wait a minute. Did double Zeta needs the? No, double Zeta doesn't need the what you call it, the morale. It's just like it needs the morale to increase its attack. So yeah, those two are the options for your free to play. One other one is like I want to put this. He's not really your attacker. It's gonna be the one that helps you dealing damage. It's gonna be this guy, G3. G3 is good. The thing about G3 is he has increased accuracy, which is nice. But again, the problem with him is like Hyper Bazooka has a 5% critical, but only 90% accuracy. It might have problem with some faster unit like that side, or actually the Charles Zaku. So you have to be careful on that, or when you want to use G3. Yes, and then for the non-free-to-play options, sorry, another free-to-play option is Oberon. Oberon again increased critical, increased accuracy, but Oberon has a critical rate of 5%, so it's not really going for the critical. It's more the accuracy. Oberon is going to be a good counter to some of the units currently, or might be rampaging in the PvP, especially Charles Zaku and that side. So yeah, he might be actually a good option for you. And now we go for the non free to play option. Actually there is a Regenerate Gundam. Regenerate Gundam is good. It's very strong, and you see this one is only 100% accuracy, and but however you will see here that he has increased reduced physical attack damage. This one I think is more to countering the likes of Charles Zaku and all those stuff, right? The increased attack by 10% is always welcome. And then we're gonna talk about its weaponry. One of them is like the assault mode. Oh wait, before that we need to check. Are they using any? No. Okay, so you can use any ability any way you like. So it doesn't need to be moral high or something. So we're gonna check on the power. It's like 5-4, which is pretty good. I think it's like Epion standard for damage. This is more like a melee thing, so you might want to use Setsuna on this guy. And then we have the long beam rifle, the higher the remaining HP. So this more like an opening, and this one more like a closing. Depends on the position of your opponent. So I do think that the Regenerate Gundam has a potential, very good potential. It's actually pretty good. And then the other option is it's Zeku 1. Okay, wait, before we go to Zeku 1, I'm gonna go talk about Astaroth, right? Astaroth's gonna be like the similar like Barbatos, but the range is it doesn't have the Barbatos kind of a 6,000 attack thing. So you can see here it's like, yeah, it's okay, it's very okay. So I don't really recommend Astaroth because I like the Gundam, but again, you might want to actually wait for Astaroth Rinashita or maybe Astaroth Origin Frame in the future. But the current Astaroth is okay, not really that great, you know. Now we go for the other kind of a not free to play option, but you might actually have a lot, maybe depend on your luck. It is Zeku Eins. Zeku Eins, it you can see here it's like insanely high mobility for the SSR unit, and then it has like even higher, yeah, it's basically increase on mobility. So it is a very mobility focused unit. It wants to move fast, but it's only have a 4 range, so be careful on that. The attack range is only 4, so it's not really that far. I mean, again, Toughest Nail is not known for their range, so that's that. And the machine gun is only def down, which actually pretty good because it's a very universal buff. And your attacker might actually have different kind of attack, so you can actually get away with it. So Zegu 1 would be a nice choice. The other nice choice is actually Strike Rouge. Strike Rouge is like it's weird. I do think it's kind of weird because it's so balanced. Like the attack, defense, mobility is kind of balanced. If we add another like 10% around here, maybe it's almost 9,000, and the attacks almost 8,000. So still slower than Zeku 1, but here's the thing. If you are a special unit, if you want to use Barbatos, Mike Strike Rouge is actually a nice choice for you to actually team up with him, because the barrage here is actually special weapon damage increase, and power is not bad. It's 4-6, it's quite good. And the other one's defense down is here, so personally I would say that Zeku 1 is actually a better choice. I would go with Zeku 1 here, and as much as I like Kagali's Strike Rouge, I will still go with Zeku 1. I don't really want to talk about Lucian. I talked about it before. It doesn't. It's not really good. The snipe is too limited, and it's actually support more on the physical kind of attacker, which we don't have much. Like I think it's G3. G3 is physical, right? Have a bazooka? Yeah, it's physical, so it's only G3. Personally, I would still go with Zeku 1 or Zeong for the support. Zeong, this one is, even though this one is beam, but at least the other one with 4 range is actually defense down. So that's that, right? So what do you think about Toughest Nail tag? It actually have some pretty interesting setup, to be honest, and the tanks are great. You can actually go for the free-to-play tank with the O and Psycho. Also, maybe if you are lucky, you can use the G-Quacks and you can have 2 defense. Yeah, because you have the Charles number ready, by the way. Like, so the units, they are basically still limited choice for this tag, and I do appreciate Bamco is actually trying to explore more on these units. And I do think these units are pretty hard to balance because, again, they can take hits. That's the problem. They can take a lot of hits. So despite they are the attacker or their support, they can take hits. So it might be a bit problematic for them. Alright, so that's all for me today. And for you who is enjoying the PvP today, good luck for you. Maybe may you reach Master League. Yeah, with if you like to try the Toughest Nail tag, yeah, sure, try it. I want to try it as well, and let me know what you think. See you next time. Bye bye.